Another opportunity we have to convert a waste product, which right now is a nuisance, into a valuable resource is with composting. And I'm sure you've all heard about the dilemma we face with the current landfill. In 2011, it's going to shut down and it's going to convert to Bixby Park. Beautiful vision. The problem is that 21,000 tons of yard waste that we compost there every year would have to be trucked down to Gilroy, 50 miles away, and would generate about 1,200 tons of carbon dioxide. So it doesn't fit in very well with our climate protection plan. But at the encouragement of the Planning and Transportation Commission and others, we just last week approved a Blue Ribbon Task Force, maybe it should be called a Brown Ribbon Task Force, but for composting. And we have 9 members of the community who have wonderful skills in understanding composting technologies, finances, etc. We're going to serve on that committee. And the exciting thing for me is when the word got out, we were looking for a more technological solution to composting. We started hearing from businesses all across the country. And the one that really interested me was an email from Kleiner Perkins. And Kleiner Perkins, I started paying attention to them. They're a big venture capital firm a few years ago at the State of the Valley conference. Al Gore was the keynote speaker and gave a great speech, but it was the one we've heard before. But John Doerr from Kleiner Perkins spoke about not just the challenges of converting to the green economy, but all the potential there. That Silicon Valley could be on the cutting edge of a growing industry that can save our planet. And their investments have been doubling every year in green technology. So when I heard from this fellow from Kleiner Perkins, he told me that they were investing in a technology called dry fermentation. They've got 12 plants up and operating in Germany and 12 in the works. What they do is they put yard waste, food waste, which we're going to have a lot more of, and even the packaging that fast food comes in will be able to be composted, and even sewage sludge. Put it in a big vat, you can isolate things if you don't want the sewage sludge in with your other materials. And it creates a biogas, it's anaerobic digestion. Creates a biogas that could produce enough electricity for 1,350 households. Or, if we want to use the biogas for compressed natural gas, enough to power a fleet of 1,900 cars. And our existing refuse fleet, a lot of that is powered by compressed natural gas. So we are now distributing compressed natural gas to the general public if people want to convert their vehicles. So there's tremendous potential there. By composting our sewage sludge, we can retire the incinerators right now, which produce 15,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year. So there's even the potential that we could sell those carbon credits to help pay for this new process. We'll be saving fuel in the amount of $300,000 to $600,000 a year instead of burning our sewage sludge, turning it into a fuel source. And right now, the ash from burning the sewage sludge is a little bit too high in copper, so we have to dispose of it as a hazardous waste. That costs us $234,000 a year. So there's tremendous savings in switching over to this composting technology, as well as generating additional revenue. 22,000 tons of high-grade compost every year. So just like our utilities in the past, this is an opportunity to generate a resource and income for the city. Food policy. When I talk about regional cooperation for local self-reliance, region, we produce 3 times as much food as the Bay Area consumes. So instead of importing food from all over the country and other countries, it makes a lot of sense to import it from the local farmers and develop a relationship with them. California's population is projected to grow from 38 million today to 60 million by 2050. Obviously, we're beyond our carrying capacity now. We'll be way beyond it at that point. And at the current rate, we'll lose 800,000 more acres of farmland within our food shed by 2050. So that's a pattern we cannot afford. The really exciting thing that's happening locally, well, first of all, we have 2 great farmers markets on Saturday in downtown Palo Alto, Sunday at California Avenue. Either one would just be a blessing for most communities, and we're very fortunate to have 2 here. But the challenge is, the people who work in Palo Alto might not have access to those farmers markets on the weekends. And our daytime population almost doubles. So there's a tremendous potential, and IDEO, one of our businesses here in Palo Alto, they have actually created a weekday farmers market, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Anyone from the public can come and purchase food that's grown from within our food shed. And they can sign up for a CSA, which is Community Supported Agriculture. And so basically you're buying shares into that farm and really developing a relationship with the farmer. You can actually meet the farmer. So we've been talking with them about expanding this to have a regular weekday market in Palo Alto. And we're exploring the possibility of launching this on Earth Day, which is Wednesday, April 22nd, here in King Plaza, right outside of City Hall. And that will include a CSA as well. We're also looking at we really have Yoriko to thank for that. She's worked closely with IDEO and made all sorts of connections with the city and IDEO, so thank you for that. We're also looking at bringing more organic, locally produced food into this building, into our cafeteria downstairs. How many people knew we have a cafeteria downstairs? Okay, well, quite a few of you. How many have you eaten there? Well, my dream is that becomes Palo Alto's little secret. When you have friends visiting in town and they want to go to the best restaurant, you take them to the Palo Alto cafeteria. Healthy food, locally produced, and organic. So ultimately, the vision is that farmers from our food shed come to Palo Alto, deliver locally grown organic food to restaurants, to the city, to people. Then they head over to the compost facility, pick up the best compost available, refuel their vehicles with compressed natural gas, and return to their farms. I want to touch on one more challenge that we face, and that's development in Palo Alto. And if you ever want to stir up the community, we propose a development project. In Palo Alto, the big issue that we're facing right now is expansion at Stanford. The Stanford Medical Center has proposed growing by 1.3 million square feet. The Stanford Shopping Center and hotel there would grow by 300,000 square feet. So basically, we're looking at adding the equivalent of another Stanford Shopping Center to the Sandhill corridor. There will be a lot of benefits coming to the community, but also some challenges. For example, housing. The housing need for providing housing for the 3,000 new employees would be about 1,800 units. And traffic, which is already a burden in Palo Alto.